Hello, Scorpio. I'm Jordan, the Green Moon Healing Spirit, and welcome to your tarot card reading for the month of October 2025. Things are a little bit different this month. Not as many things like eclipses, but definitely some interesting events going on in the sky. A few of the signs have been getting just different energies, a lot of pensivity, I think, in the air, a lot about how we're going to beautify and harmonize. Of course, it is Libra season currently, um, which started back in September. So I'll be interested to see what kinds of things you pull for yourself. Scorpio is always such an interesting and deep sign. Doesn't matter what month, I feel like it's always fascinating to read. And I will be interested to see what you pull. Lots of energies going on, lots in this. Of course, happy birthday to some of my Scorpios who are watching. And I hope we have a good month, but let's see what we have. Spirit, is there anything for Scorpio to know during the month of October 2025? Anything going on that they need to know? Thank you. Okay. All right. Let's see. Anything comes up. Scorpio, I think this is a joke. I've had so many signs start with this card. It's just a pensive month, I think. I feel like somebody is punking me sometimes. Spirit is punking me. Judgment, okay. The Chariot. Eight of Cups. Justice, beautiful. Okay, so I do get a sense that something is driving you to a point of self-expression in at least what you think is going on in the undercurrent. There's a lot happening there. Let's just start here. I see a lot of big major arcana, motion, a wake-up call, movement toward fairness and equity and all those things. But the sun is in Libra at this time. So for you, that's in your 12th house. There's a point of trying to find balance in that unseen space, in that spiritual place, in that untapped into area. But right now, the sun is shining there, Scorpio. I do think that you may be feeling a little bit lacking, in some way. Something just feels like it's not helping you anymore, or it's not doing right for you. It's not causing you to feel good anymore like it used to. Something is stale or old or not really there anymore. There's a lot with bodily things, I think, too, going on here. I don't know why I'm getting that. I just see an image of yourself that may not be where you want it to be. Um, in the 12th house, it's all about those. It's like longing at that point somewhere. Um, something is calling you to a position of longingness, of feeling like you need to call into the depths to pull something forward into your life now. That's just what I'm getting with this card for you. Something, I do feel like it's more about your image. The Five of Cups says, I miss, I wish, I regret. This is a regretful energy. and it's a dour, down energy. But there are things here that can still help, okay? There are things here where you can connect, where you can relate to those who are here. I do see in that spiritual unseen place, you may be dreaming of emotion, to connect somehow. Um, of course, some of you, this may have to do with body image too, but I do get more of a sense of trying to find harmony. And maybe some of you are trying to have good feelings in that unseen space. Maybe you don't feel it in the real world, and that's kind of why it's happening. Um, and I feel like you get a sense of trying to honor yourself. That's what I'm getting, is that you feel like something in this world is really not helping you anymore. Like it's not real for you. Scorpio is a complicated energy. You know that better than anybody. It's all about emotional depth, and it can get a little bit regretful. It can get a little bit longing, but there's a purpose to it. There's a reason. There's a point to that. The Judgment card being connected to the Chariot and this 5, whatever is stirring for you there with Libra in that place, as it starts to balance the scale out in that place and how it's going to now balance out your real life, I do see somewhat of a divine wake-up call at that point. From that 12th house, that's what I'm getting. There's something coming through to manifest your body to awaken, to take ownership, to allow. The Judgment card allows these people to awaken. It allows that. It allows them, the life, to wake up out of the darkness here, this darkness, to stir such that they might see how they can apply those lessons that they might be learning in the 12th house, where they're having those really unseen subconscious feelings and thoughts of harmonizing their life. And I do get a sense in the middle of the month that there's a sense for you to get a move on with this. Whatever's happening, I don't see you as wasting a lot of time there. I see Scorpio, of course, can sometimes get a little bit fixed, but I do see this more as a recognition of a need rather than being stuck here. It does hit you deep. Scorpio, you are such a deep sign that whenever you have an emotion like this, I feel like it brings you to a place that just forces you to take action because it's so deep. It instills itself that deeply into you. And when you start to take the motion after, of course, this wake-up call, I think from this 12th house space in Libra, um, something is really stirring you to feel this harmony in the real world. I feel like you're kind of trying to figure out how you can make this happen in real life, how you can not just dream it, how you can not just manifest it. You know, that's what I'm getting, is you're trying to manifest and bring it to life such that you can move past this feeling in the real world. There's a lot of very interesting, misty, watery energy going on for you, Scorpio, in this month, of course. Of course, these are cup cards, so that is a little bit watery and emotional. You know, there is an emotional need. You do need to think and evaluate about where you are in your position, in your relationships, in your life, how you feel, how you're satisfied, that sort of thing. And the Chariot is all about getting a move on with it. And a forceful one at that. You know, wherever this Chariot goes, he has his dream in his head or her head, whatever. And it just carries on. It just goes forward until it gets where it's going. It's all about carrying you to where you need to be. And I do see this as being connected to the Judgment card to take that feeling with it, you know, really run. And it's serving you pretty well because I do feel like the Eight of Cups. I'll talk about the moon. There's a full moon in Aries as well. For you, that's your sixth house. So that's all about like practical daily things. That's why I said body and practical things. Um, Starting to feel what's not right here, what wasn't really true. Okay, and there's other things in Aries too. You have Neptune retrograding there at the same time as there's a full moon. There's a big recognition about things that you need to leave, things that need to be complete, things that need to be allowed to dissipate. Especially with Neptune retrograding, it's forcing that discussion about what sort of energies aren't really real, are sort of elusive, things that might have been initiations that you've had that were really kind of pie in the sky or not really real. But I do see this more as you taking this initiative, even if it doesn't look like an initiative at the time. I get a sense for you it will feel like it, but not at this moment. I almost feel like you will spend some time masking your action with sorrow. Almost like it's the driving force for you. I don't know why I'm getting that, but deep down, it's causing you to realize and recognize the things that aren't serving you. I feel like coming from that 12th house place, we also do need to talk about Mercury and entering your sign as well. Um, I do feel like there's some self expression on its way for you, some articulation, some self advocacy to allow for you to position yourself and move your position forward and leave these things that aren't really real. It's not a time for falseness. It's not a time for jokers and things that aren't really meant for you. It's time to understand and recognize what you need and what will help you get where you're going, what will help you to feel fulfilled. There's a lot of that happening right now. And the Justice card is all about fairness. There's a fair bit about karma on whether all of this is right. I do see in this place, in this mind space, Libra season is all about this balancing what's equitable, what's fair, what needs to be based on what has happened. It's equal pay for what has gone in, you know, equal work, equal pay, that sort of thing. I do see right now you may be having some sense of a need to balance and kind of allow the fairness to govern you at this point. And Libra in that 12th house space can be a very powerful awakening sort of energy where all of the things that have been hidden there, all of the things that have been in the shadows for you, that have gone sort of in the subconscious place that you didn't want to deal with, or all of those sorts of things are now going to start to come out. And you're going to have to let them in, but you can't let them all in. If you have dreams that are realistic, I think now is the time. If you have dreams that are not realistic, I think you need to address that. I do think that that's kind of, a lot of the message here. And with the Justice card, it's kind of a little bit tough because this is an accountable sort of energy where you have to think to yourself, is this realistic? Is this something that I really should try? Is this something I really should feel? There's a lot. Justice is a very challenging card, just as Libra is a very challenging archetype. There's a lot about the other people, the other energies. Are things balanced? Are things in a state of harmony? Does it make sense? Is it fair? Is it equitable? Not just for you, Scorpio. Very interesting. Let's pull some more cards. Page of Cups. The Eight of Swords. Ace of Wands. King of Wands. Page of Swords. Okay, Spirit. Now I'm going to try and pull a guiding card for the month for Scorpio. See what we can get. Any guiding cards for Scorpio for the month, Spirit? Thing that they need to know. Beautiful. Temperance. It's a very powerful major arcana. You have a couple big ones, I have to say. Okay, so I do feel as though this is a preparatory sort of month where you're trying to gear up what's in the subconscious into what to allow through, what to bring into real life as the sun is going to start to illuminate your own space, Scorpio. Right now, it's kind of illuminating in Libra all of the things that need to be in the real world as a matter of fairness, and what things need to go, okay? What things need to go. I do see, interestingly enough, the Justice card is being between the Page of Cups and the Eight of Cups. What feelings need to be allowed to come in and what feelings need to be eliminated. Scorpio is the sign to do that, of course. It's a very complicated place. Um, it just allows that sort of exchange to happen. It's an acknowledgement, and it's in a very deep place. This is, of course, cup energy. It's very complicated. And the Temperance card, well, we'll talk about that at the end, but I do feel like there is a review, and it's starting to stir deep with this Chariot. It's sort of forcing a lot of emotional acknowledgement that we're having with this Eight of Cups, okay? And then Justice, of course, is either allowing it to come in or not. If it deserves to be part of your picture, then it's going to come in. If it doesn't deserve to be there, if it's not a part of the equation or should not be part of your life, Justice is not going to let that in. So now is a time to address delusions. Now is a time to address realism. I just see that for you, Scorpio. Now is the time for that. Justice is not, it doesn't favor one for the reason of it being pleasing to you. It favors nothing. It allows in what needs to come in. It makes go out what needs to leave. It's just a matter of truth and fact. And it doesn't pick favorites or sides or anything. It holds them accountable, it weighs them objectively, and you're going to get what comes, and that's that. It's not very nice sometimes, but it can be nice. It's not mean either. It's neither of those. It is just objective and true, okay? But I do see that at this point, coming in the second half of the month, you're going to be having I think some real things are going to start to show up for you. Some feelings are going to start to really instill you with a sense of emotion. And the emotion that you get there, I do see a little bit of confusion and maybe you getting jammed up. I feel like some of the emotions that come through might not be what you expected. They might not be even things that they might be confusing for you. They might be new feelings that were hidden for a long time, and now they're sort of rearing their faces out in the real world. And as that happens, I always see this little fish in the cup with the page is a real sort of offering, like here's a little something to show you how real this is. It may be, I just see this as like somebody says something to you that you just comes out of left field and it hits you deep, right here in the feels. And it's like, why do I feel like this? What on earth is causing me to feel like this? But I feel like it's coming from a place where it was bottled up and stored in a place that you haven't been able to get to it. And with Libra in that space, that is a very complex thing that can clean the house out there, um, and hold things accountable and allow things to come in and make them go away. It's a very difficult place, but it is important for you. Some of the things that are going to come through, I feel like might make you feel a little bit blind, like you can't understand everything that's going on. There is something else that's happening too for you this month. Right around up here, when this judgment card happens, Mercury is coming into your sign in your first house. So this is all about introspection and communication with yourself, and how this is going to define who you are. There's a lot about that here. And it's got to do with the everyday, day-to-day things with that full moon in Aries and the way that your body functions and the way that your mind works and all of those very self-definitive things. And there needs to be honesty. Justice is going to give you the truth no matter what happens and what is found there. If you've been treating your body with respect, if you've been treating your body with disrespect, justice will know that, and you will start to feel that. You will start to feel the results, good or bad, you know? And it's not just your body. This is all those things that have been there. Maybe you've been dreaming about your relationship, ideal harmony in that place. And you might start to feel some of those things in the real world and pulling in reality here. It's almost like a place where dreams can really govern your reality. And dreams might seem intense for you, Scorpio, at this time. But I feel like with such strong emotion, you might not know what to think at this point, coming up. This is also a point where there's a new moon in Libra in that 12th house space. This is a blind sort of area. It is, after all, in that unseen 12th house. Where are you going to plant the seeds? What needs to come there? I feel like there's a little bit of confusion with that. There's also some confusion in the real world too for you, and what needs to happen with the reality. I feel like there's a lot of feelings kind of rushing out that you may not always understand, and they may be causing you to feel a little bit blind, a little bit restricted, um, maybe even oppressed by some of your feelings that you're having come through there. And what happens, Scorpio, when you get this sense, Scorpio has a tendency to take action whenever it feels restricted. It doesn't like being restricted. You like to be able to have the depth. You like to be able to indulge. You like to be able to fully engage. That's something Scorpio likes to do. It's all about depth and passion there. But when the sun comes into your sign, Scorpio, there's going to be some action now. I feel like whatever started to come through and shape itself through justice on this other side of the month, when the sun comes into your sign, I feel like this sense of feeling is kind of running the show here, and you're not really thinking as much as you're feeling. But whatever it is, you're starting to take some actions. You're starting to do some of these things and really start to try and exhibit these feelings in their real form to see what kind of thing that you can bring there, in the real place to shape your reality now, which there's a lot happening here. Now there's a lot of self-expression. Now there's a lot of manifestation. There's a lot of things that actually happen at this point. Um, when the sun comes into Scorpio, there are a few days where it's going to be meeting Mercury, but not just Mercury. It's going to be meeting Mars there, which has been there this whole time. That's, I think, why some of this energy is stirring so deeply for you when Mercury comes into your sign in your first house. In self-communication, there's an initiation energy, an initiation that's happening in that place. You're really envisioning how you are, internally and externally, I think as well. But now externally, you might take some actions. You might start to have some conversations. You might start to go to some of these events that people want you to go to. You might start to engage in the way that people wanted you to engage or ways that you wanted to engage. You might be trying something new, because you're feeling it coming through here. I just see this as initiation. But it's something that you feel deeply. It's something that you are connected to deeply, like a passionate energy. Like trying out something that you might have been burying for a while. And then the feelings come and you're not really thinking so much. It's just forcing its way out. And you're just like, you know what? I'm doing this. I'm just doing it. I can't take it anymore. I'm just doing it. And it's leading you to a point where you lean in so much. I feel like with Scorpio, this is always an energy that's felt, the giving of yourself to the point where there's nothing else to give after. It just will, you would give everything. This king is such a voracious energy. I mean, he just gives himself to everything and 100%. He can be a little bit explosive, but if he's being explosive, there's a good reason for that. It's purposeful. He's trying to accomplish something. King is really on a mission most of the time. This king is also, I think, of all of the kings, the King of Wands I always see as being like a self-made king because he's been so passionate, because he's been so vivacious about how he does things, by pouring himself in, by giving himself 100% to whatever new things he tries. He gives himself. He says, I give everything if it means that I'm going to feel this in the way that I want to. And I feel like the Page of Swords coming is trying to seek out for you how to direct this and also the communication. Also, now with the Sun in Scorpio, at the end, Mercury moves into Sagittarius, which for you is your second house. So, how will this work for me? How will the communications work for me? How can I seek out the relationships? How can I seek out the ideas? How can I connect the dots here into what needs to be connected with the external world? I feel like the page always knows how to use his eyes now. I feel like it's a wake up from this Eight of Swords where it's like a fresh new vision. Like once you take the action, it opens your eyes to how you can now start to connect to the world around you. But it's coming from that place, that feeling place first. It's like popping its way out of the ether in the background in that 12th house. And then when the sun comes into your side, it's like, bam, I'm trying this, I'm doing this, I'm leaning in all the way. Whatever it is, I'm leaning in fully now. And then you can start to try and connect it to the world around you. And I think that that's really great for you, Scorpio. The Temperance card coming up as your guiding card speaks so clearly to me of how you're going to make reality equal what's not reality right now, and how you're going to take the things that are in the outside dreamish sort of world and bring them onto the solid ground. It's a matter of exchange. It's a matter of how do you take this and put it here? How do you take something from this place and get it to the place of this other cup? And I do see cups with water here, and there's a lot of cup energy that showed up. There's cups, cups, cups. I mean, there's a lot of other cards too, but I do get a sense of how am I going to make this emotion come and define me in my real world? How am I going to manifest all of these things? I do see, for whatever reason, as the feelings start to build for you, Scorpio, you're just kind of pouring the cup. You're just kind of doing it. It's like the feelings come out and you just allow them to happen. You just allow them to define some element of your life. I do see this as being a good energy for you, of course. All right, Spirit, let's pull a fantasy oracle for you, Scorpio, and we'll see what we get. Spirit, any fantasy oracles for Scorpio for the month of October? Very fascinating. I have the twins, self-protection and dual natures. I think this speaks so well. When I look at this card, I see like the shadow moon and the bright moon, like the twin realities going on here for you. How are we going to take things and get them from a place where they're sort of tucked away and sort of out of sight, but not out of mind entirely? There's a lot of the sun is shining on that place in the 12th house for you, and things that you haven't seen or felt for a while, things that have been in the subconscious, maybe even things connected to the spirit world, and how we're going to bring them through. And this twins card is self-protection, of course, how you're going to make this with dual natures, the existence of that light and dark with Libra as well. It just seems, this also should be said that when the sun is in Libra, it's trining both Pluto and Aquarius and also Uranus and Gemini. It's a very complex energy about accountability and shaking things up and what things need to be eliminated in terms of how you communicate with others, how you allow feelings to affect you and affect your outside world. I do see this very complicated interplay with you, Scorpio, between the unseen world and the real world that you're in now, and dreams and reality, all that sort of thing, and the duality that comes with that. Very fascinating, I have to say. It's beautiful to watch, Scorpio. It always is. And now, any talisman cards we can pull for Scorpio, Spirit? Eternal Charisma. Eternal Charisma. Beautiful. I see this card. It speaks to a transcendent communication. I do see this as being like that spirit energy coming through it. It does involve a reflection like on past lives, on that in that 12th house place. I feel like there's such a divine entity speaking to you from somewhere, something that you're connected to, somebody, some place that you've been before, maybe in a past life, however many of you believe in that sort of thing. I know I do to an extent. There may be some call from beyond happening to you here in that 12th house place in terms of how you should feel, how you should allow the new feelings to come, how you should discard the feelings that have run their course and need to be eliminated and shouldn't have been part of the equation. Justice is not going to let things through, but eternal charisma speaks to me of just some kind of beckoning from that place. Very fascinating. Duality is such a complicated reading, Scorpio, but I have to say it's beautiful. And now I'm going to go ahead and clarify these cards. For those of you who haven't seen me before, I'm going to pull 3 cards on each of these cards. And I have a comprehensive reading, of course, that I offer if you follow the link in the description. 5 of Cups, we have the 6 of Wands. The Devil. We also have the Ace of Wands. Now I'll clarify the Judgment card. The Hanged Man. The Sun. And the World. Beautiful. Now let's clarify this Chariot. The Page of Pentacles. The Two of Wands. And I also have the Knight of Pentacles. Might be a slower moving chariot than I once thought, but it's okay. And now for the Eight of Cups, we have the Nine of Pentacles. I have the Ace of Cups. And I also have the Hermit. Okay. And now on the Justice card, I have the Chariot. The Five of Swords. I have the Queen of Cups. And now the Page of Cups. Two of Pentacles. I have the Three of Pentacles. I have the Nine of Wands. And now let's clarify the Eight of Swords, Spirit. Clarify the Eight of Swords. I have the Fool. The Six of Pentacles. I have the Three of Wands. Yeah, this new moon in Libra is really doing a number on you here, I think. Now let's clarify the Ace of Wands. High Priestess. Beautiful. I have the Four of Cups. I have the Four of Pentacles as well. And now the King of Wands. The Eight of Wands. Yeah, fast. And Ten of Wands. Ace of Pentacles. And now let's clarify the Page of Swords. I have the Queen of Wands here. I also have the Star. Beautiful. Six of Cups. And now let's clarify the Temperance card. The Lovers. Six of Swords. And now what I'm going to do, I've been doing something this month where I'm going to shuffle them a little bit differently, and I'm going to ask Spirit to just pick one. And if we don't get one, then we'll just use two. Anything else, Spirit, for Temperance card, for Scorpio's guiding card? No. Okay. Very good, Scorpio. So for those of you who wish to join me in the comprehensive, if you click the link in the description, it should take you there where you can watch that with me. I really get so much more there. I hope to see you there. I always like seeing people there, of course. And if it doesn't resonate with you, that's okay. I can't resonate with all of you, and you're all very different individuals with free will. So that's just part of the equation as well. But for those of you who do want to click comprehensive, I look forward to seeing you there. So I will pause it there. And if you like this video, please like and subscribe. Thanks.